Hey, welcome to another edition of Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti. This is your local favorite cable show where we take some celebrity judges that we have here. He's making me laugh. And bring in one of our favorite local restaurants that's in the town and have their chef come in, cook us some breakfast in here. So today our local celebrity chefs are Mrs. Patti Farlee.
Good morning.
Mr. Gale, good morning. And we have a new one here, Miss Sutton. Welcome to our show. Welcome to breakfast here.
Thank you.
Our local celebrity chef today is Mr. Jason from Mattone Restaurants, located on 31st Street in LaGrange Park. He's been there a couple years. We want to welcome you to the studio, and he's going to start off making us some whipped warm bruschetta.
Well, thank you for having me. So we're going to start off with a great Polish loaf that was baked last night, and we got it delivered this morning. So we're going to cut it, and you're going to want to keep it a good, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch thick because you want to have some substance to the bread. So after we're going to cut this, we're going to take it and we're going to put some olive oil on it because you want to season your bread. Your bread doesn't come seasoned, neither does mine. So a little salt and a little pepper on the bread. And we're going to put it on a grill pan and we're going to grill up the bread to make it nice and toasty. Also, now we have our ricotta cheese, which is our fresh ricotta cheese that we make in-house in the restaurant, and we have some fresh herbs in here. So we have some parsley, some oregano, some thyme, some Parmesan cheese, a little bit of fresh garlic, and a little bit of lemon juice in here. So we're gonna wait till this gets toasted up. We also have some wood-fired cherry tomatoes. So what we do in our restaurant is we take our cherry tomatoes, we slice them in half, we season them with parsley, oregano, salt, pepper, garlic, sugar on top, and then we have our wood-fired oven, which gets to 1200 degrees in the restaurant. So we put it in our wood-fired oven, which actually kind of breaks down the tomato, the cell structure of it to make it nice and soft and pliable, so it's not a hard thing you're chewing on. So,
How hard was it to get that wood-burning oven in your restaurant? Just out of curiosity.
it was a
seems
pain.
like it's a centerpiece, and I'm like, that was a logistic nightmare.
So we had to cut a hole in the side of our building and bring it in with a crane.
My.
And then after it came in, we have a basement, and we didn't realize the oven weighed almost 17,000 pounds. So we had to put
gosh.
reinforcements underneath in the basement. So it was a lot harder than we thought.
But worth it?
Worth it.
So you almost have to build a restaurant around that thing.
Yes. So we're going to take our bruschetta, we're going to take our toast, we're going to put on some of the ricotta mixture, just lather it on. And then we're going to take our tomatoes, and we just want to get this nice and warm, like this. So we'll put this there. We're going to take our tomatoes. We're going to put cut side up so it looks pretty for presentation, because we always eat with our eyes first before our mouths.
Now, I heard you say you put sugar on the tomatoes before you cooked them.
I was going to
Yes.
Is that a common...
It should be, because
Okay.
here's the problem is that it's not August. In August, the tomatoes get sweeter, so most of the tomatoes we get now are going to come from, South America, Mexico, so there's not so much sweetness in it. So a little sugar helps it out. So I'm going to do this. We're going to cover this up a little bit too, just to help out the process of warming it up.
Could we talk a little bit about the fact that you make the ricotta? More and more people are starting to do that in their home kitchens too.
Well, it's an easy process. The problem that we do it for is because it's a more consistent product, and
Okay.
there's a huge taste difference. And most ricotta cheese that we buy in the store is a little gritty, and it's not as smooth. As you can see with this one, it's going to be very, very smooth. And that's why it whips up really, really good. So when you spread it, it's a big difference. So we're going to
How
chef it
long
out.
does it take to do that?
It takes about 3 hours, because after you make it, you want to drain it so it's not all the water in there, so the curd comes out. So we're going to chefing out some basil, which is just a process of we take our basil, we lay leaves on top, we roll it like a cigar, and then we're just going to, strip it. And chiffonade more or less just means ribbons. So we have some ribbons here of the basil. And then what we do with this in this bottle is balsamic reduction. So we take balsamic, some sugar, put it on the stove, reduce it very, very slow for approximately an hour.
Okay.
So it's really, really slow because you don't want to go too fast or you're going to burn it and it'll be very, very bitter. So when you reduce balsamic, it becomes very, very sweet.
It sounds like it takes a lot of patience.
It does. And it's timing. So we learn in kitchens, we have little timers all over the place because we have to multitask. You put the timer on, you start it going, also you do another thing, and your timer goes off. It's like, I used to carry 2 cell phones with me. One just for a timer and one just for that because you had so many things going on, mixing the dough for a certain long. So,
Sure.
Which is good. So.
I always have to ask about your culinary training. What inspired you to open the restaurant? And Where have you been trained?
So I was trained at Kendall College, which is top culinary school in Chicago. It is a 4-year process. I started in this business when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
I started in a restaurant called Paul's Pizza in Westchester. I was there for almost 18 years.
Wow.
So I learned a tremendous amount from there. But then I went to be classically trained. So I'm classically trained French, and my minor is Mexican cuisine.
Oh, great.
So none of it is Italian.
Italian.
You open up Italian.
You thought you'd try something
I
different.
don't know how French would go in Brookfield. I don't know.
So this is our balsamic reduction. So it's very, very thick.
I was gonna say it's more of a syrup consistency.
Yeah, it's
now,
gonna be
right?
really, really thick. So you're gonna see it's gonna come out really, really slow.
Wow.
So what's the ratio of sugar to the balsam?
So we do 3 gallons of balsamic and to 3 cups of sugar.
3 gallons?
3 gallons.
Incorporating math into the show. Very
Yes.
nice.
And
A lot
then
of people don't realize.
Can you do the
there's
metric
a lot of
conversion
math.
and the metric
there's a ton.
conversion?
There's a ton
break
of
that down to
math in
decimals,
cooking.
please?
Huge amount of math in cooking because it's all, breaking down. How many cups are in a gallon or how many ounces are in a pound. So. And
Well,
then,
especially when you're making things of so many
That
quantities,
quantity.
right?
yes,
Making things in bulk.
our pizza doughs consist of 100-pound bags of flour.
Wow.
Wow.
And so that's one batch, and our batches keep going. So we make 4 batches every day. And then we have another pizza dough. Our flour is imported from Italy, and it's just made for our wood-fired pizzas, which is in front. So we put some balsamic on top. This is some Corto olive oil, which is from California, which California olive oil may seem odd, but it is so buttery. Very, very buttery.
Okay.
It's something that we're not used to having it in the States, but they actually mastered it. He used to be a wine maker, and he went to olive oil. And it's just worked out great for him.
Once again, an Italian restaurant with olive oil from California. I love the.
Yeah, so then we also use a lot of local goods. We have our farmer's market, which is from the Grange Park in our parking lot during the
how
summertime.
nice.
So what we do is always find something in the farmer's market that week and make it into a special, which is something that is, dear to us, that we can use. People that are locally growing some stuff
Sure.
and use it. We can't do it all year round,
No.
but when we can and it's accessible to us, that's what we like to do.
I think we're seeing a lot of restaurants kind of move in that direction.
Yeah.
They are, and that's why you keep seeing your restaurant prices keep going up and up and up, because it is more expensive to buy local. But you're also helping the smaller farmers who take a little bit more pride in their
Smaller,
work.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
very
don't
good.
Guys,
ask
take a
me.
bite. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
How's the whip? I was say this is a very unique
The
version
creaminess
of
of the ricotta is absolutely, it just jumps out at you. And of course, the flavors are just melded together perfectly. It's
Excellent.
Herbs are
fantastic.
amazing.
The herbs.
Can't beat fresh basil.
Well, and it does
No.
have that sweet taste.
Yeah, that's what you get from
especially
that
for a
balsamic.
bruschetta.
Yeah.
I mean, very sweet.
And I like it too because so many times when you're eating bruschetta, it just crumbles and falls apart.
Falls apart, you're always piling stuff back.
Right,
Constantly.
right. So is there a big difference between like the yellow tomatoes and the red tomatoes in terms of
A flavor? Not really. I mean, there's different varieties. I mean, there's over 340 varieties of tomatoes out there. So when you get into yellow heirlooms and get into teardrops, things like that, there'll be a little bit more. It's more or less the cell structure inside of where the seeds are. Some of them won't have as many seeds. Some would be not. Some would be a lot tighter seeds, smaller seeds. So, but the flavor components of yellow tomatoes to red, there really isn't that much difference.
I was telling her that earlier, but she didn't believe me. So.
Exactly that way, too,
Is this
right?
one of?
do we get to keep eating this?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, really?
you do.
Okay.
But no
I'm
more
a
questions
rookie.
for the moment. So,
Is
right.
this one of your more signature items?
This is something that we made for our fall and winter menu. So our menu changes 4 times a year, so we change with the
Okay.
seasons. So we wanted something
great.
that was kind of warm and you could eat it and it had some depth to it. So this is where we came there, and we came up there. So we also do another bruschetta with some buffalo mozzarella, which we import from Italy, that goes on there. And then we do just a regular traditional bruschetta on top. So just chopped tomatoes, basil, garlic on top.
Yum.
So
Okay.
all right, excellent. Well, an A+ from all the judges here. That was warm whipped bruschetta. When we come back, we're going to have some stuffed mushrooms. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to another edition of Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti. Today we're feeding our 3 celebrity judges. We have Mrs. Patti Farlee with us again, head of the Culinary Division, Mr. Matt Gale, and
nice.
Miss Sutton.
Right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have one of our local favorite Italian restaurants here, Mattone Restaurant on 31st Street, and we have the executive chef from there, Mr. Jason. He just cooked up some whipped warm bruschetta, and now he's making us some fresh stuffed mushrooms. Take it over.
So we're gonna have some mushrooms. We got some button mushrooms. They're kind of larger, so we just take out the base of it, we core it out, and then we have our mixture, which is spinach, applewood smoked bacon, Parmesan cheese, Fontina cheese, and some cream and some salt and pepper that we cook down. We reduce it and we make it into almost like a paste. And then we stuff our mushrooms, and then we're gonna start it off in a warm pan with some butter in there. So everything tastes a little bit better with butter.
Do you use clarified butter or?
Certain techniques,
Okay.
but this case it's just regular whole butter. We
Okay.
always use unsalted butter
Yeah.
because we season our food to taste, and it gets too salty if we use salted butter. So we do this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take some Marsala wine, which is a fortified wine. So we're going to do this. We're going to put it on our pan.
Oh, smells
Do
great.
that. And we always season it, so we're going to season with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper,
And you put that off to the side. You didn't put that on the mushrooms.
not on the mushrooms.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
because I know that my stuffing's already seasoned perfectly, and I also need to season my sauce now.
That's
So
interesting. Okay, good.
we're going to add a little bit of a stock to this, just so we don't burn it, just a little bit. And then also we're going to add is a little bit of cream, heavy cream to it. And then we would traditionally take this and we would cover this and let it cook for approximately about 8 to 10 minutes. We don't really have time today, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch out our pans, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do this. So our mushrooms are cooked.
Look
It's
at
gorgeous.
That. That's
So-
beautiful.
Uncovered or covered the pan?
When we first start cooking, it's going to be covered, and then now at the end, we're going to uncover it. And then we're going to just heat up our sauce now. After it keeps reducing, reduction also means great flavor. So we're building flavors as we go. So as the mushroom cooks out, the natural juices in the mushroom are going to actually make some of the sauce also.
Okay. Wow.
But due to that reduction, that's why you want to be very careful, especially with your salt, correct?
Correct,
Because
it'll be
it
very,
could be
very
too
salty.
salty otherwise.
So all of our stocks that we make in-house, we don't salt them at all.
Okay.
So there's no salt in them. You know, anyone will tell you don't ever salt your stocks. So that's why if you can always buy low sodium stocks or no salt in your stocks in your store, it's always better off.
What kind
Okay,
of stock
great.
was this?
This is a vegetable stock.
Vegetable? Okay.
So
It's always smell was carrots and
Now,
celery.
sauces, some people think are a little tricky. Is there any general rule that you'd like to give us about sauces?
I think with sauces, the best way to make sauces is start small. So start with your mother's sauces. You know, start with a bechamel sauce, because a bechamel sauce you can make so many things with. I mean, that's what make a great mac and cheese with it. You can make, you know, just a
Fettuccine
regular
Alfredo.
Alfredo sauce with it. So this is going to come together really nice now. The key to this sauce is we need some freshness to it. So everyone thinks that parsley is just for decoration. It's actually not. It'll actually
very
brighten up
good.
your dish at the end. So we're just going to chop up this parsley just a little bit, just to, at the end of it, we're going to add it to it just to make it nice and bright.
And that's a flat leaf parsley or
Curly.
This was curly. We'll typically use flat leaf, but this week it was a little bit easier to get and it looked better. So our first order came in, it wasn't up to our standards.
Do you think there's a different taste profile in the flat versus the curly?
It is. I think that curly parsley has more fragrance to it. It
really?
is. I mean, you can smell
Jumps
it. I mean,
out
just
at
chopping
you.
here. So now we have our sauce, which is coming together very, very nice. There's a great reduction. What we can notice is our bubbles are nice and tight. So that
Yes.
means that our sauce is almost ready. So the big thing that we do is we're going to take our mushrooms, and we know our mushrooms are cooked now, so we're going to take our mushrooms out. We're going to plate.
What made you go with big mushrooms versus the smaller ones that you see everywhere?
No one likes small mushrooms.
Are you taking bites out of a mushroom and just popping one in the
Yeah,
mouth?
I mean, these are going to be, you know, done there. So now we got that. We're going to take it off the heat for this next.
How do you prevent that from burning? Is that just me?
Constantly watch it.
Constantly watching it. So now we're going to.
This isn't a sauce you walk away from and
No.
go watch the next quarter
No,
of a
so
football
we're
game.
going to Monte burn this. So we're going to, which means mount with butter in French. So we're going to just keep adding butter. And now, what's going to happen is this sauce is going to come together really, really good.
Butter Butter and bacon.
Wow, that's
Butter,
beautiful.
bacon, cheese.
Yeah, how are we not going to like that? Now, if I walked into your restaurant, unfortunately, I have yet to be there, but I will be visiting. So, what can I expect? How should I dress? How
We
many
always, I mean,
seats?
it's casual. We're very
Okay.
family friendly.
Okay.
You're gonna walk in, you're gonna see a massive onion oven that sits about 20 feet in the air.
It is the centerpiece as soon as you walk in.
The fireplace.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brick
I
oven.
mean,
Yeah.
We
it's
do
gigantic.
Okay.
we do all our wood-fired pizzas in there, which takes 90 seconds to cook our pizzas.
Oh my
We
God.
stick very true to the
Okay.
Neapolitan way.
Okay.
You're also going to notice there's a lot of murals that were custom made for our restaurant. So we're going to do a little sauce on top.
There's no calories in
I'll
this
take the
either.
big one.
Okay, good. Good.
That looks
This
amazing.
makes
Since you're
me
new
wanna
to the
experiment
show,
with
you should
Marsala.
absolutely. We're very nice
What is
to
a
our
fortified
first
wine?
time.
In the future, it's
Fortified
more of a
wine
fight,
means
just
that
so you
it
know.
started with one wine and made another wine. So ports are fortified.
Oh, okay.
So
Excellent.
Wow.
All right,
And
grab
could
a mushroom.
could you use portobello mushrooms for this?
you
or
could,
yeah.
you could, like for big parties, a lot of people love this dish so much that we'll do a big portobello in
No,
there
I'm teasing. Take the big one.
purposely so it feeds more people. So in the restaurant, this would come in 6 of them, but
Oh, well,
you know,
thank you.
we do big parties, we'll do a big portobello with it. They cook a little bit longer because they break down a little bit more, so we try to carve out the inside.
So you don't change anything in terms of the cooking or
No,
preparation
the
or
same
anything?
thing.
Just
I mean, for bigger parties, we do a different kind of preparation because you have to. But
Take a taste. See
Okay,
what you
we
guys
could
think.
start with Christine.
The stuffing is great. The stuffing is different.
The sauce is great.
yeah,
The sauce is great.
This is one of my favorite appetizers, actually. So I haven't yet to taste something exactly like this. So I love the unique blend of flavors, and the sauce is just fantastic.
Wow.
Thank
And
you.
the
This is
unique blend of
amazing.
textures as well between the
stuffing,
filling,
the
the
mushroom,
sauce,
Yes.
and the mushroom itself. Yeah.
I think
the apple wood
I
smoked
would
bacon
agree.
adds a little bit smokiness
love
to
that.
it.
Yeah.
So
Ms. Sutton, what do you think?
Fantastic. Muy bueno.
Tell us
You're so
about the
cultured.
name of your restaurant.
Mattone means brick in Italian. So
Okay.
it was named after our brick oven. So we do all of our pizzas in there. We do some sandwiches in there. So we bake bread to order per sandwich.
Wow.
And then we do our chicken mattone, which is a marinated chicken that we cook in the brick oven, which takes about 8 to 10 minutes to cook the whole chicken.
Oh my gosh. And what are your hours?
So we open at 4 o'clock daily to 10:30, and then on the weekends we're open until about midnight. And then during the day we do all private functions because we have 2 private banquet rooms in the restaurant.
Does your menu change daily in terms of specials and things like that?
We have weekly specials that hit every Friday and run a week, and then we have daily specials Monday through Thursday.
Great. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Looks like
Great.
everyone
Thank
loves
you.
stuffed mushrooms here.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's a beautiful sauce. That was really nice
The
too.
sauce.
All right, when we come back, we're gonna have some rigatoni contadina. Stay tuned. Stay hungry.
Wow.
Hey, welcome back to another edition of Cook This. I'm your host, Pete Calvetti. This morning we're feeding our celebrity judges again.
Can't
Mrs.
wait.
Patti Farlee. She's waiting for the next dish.
I am.
Mr. Gale and Miss Sutton joining us for the first time. Thank you. How's it going? Okay.
Fantastic. I
Enjoying
can't
it?
wait to come back.
Excellent. You've had some great questions so far.
Oh,
so I'm very
thank
proud
you.
of you. Today we are having Chef Jason from Mattone on 31st Street, Italian restaurant, coming here and cooking us some food. He's done some stuffed mushrooms, he's done some whipped warm bruschetta, and now he is making us some rigatoni contadina. See what this one's about.
So we're going to start off with some butter, and this is house-made Italian sausage that we make in-house. So we get a local hog farm that delivers us some pigs, and then we grind all of our meat in-house for our
Love to be
Italian
there for that.
sausage.
That's great. That's great.
So this is sausage. We roll it in a little bit of flour just to help the sauce thicken as it goes on.
Oh.
So we're going to
okay.
saute some sausage there. We're going to grab an onion, and we're just going to give it a medium dye on the onion, just so we know that it's okay.
You were fancy there, not even looking.
I know,
at
you
your
made me
wedding.
nervous.
I was looking
I
for
try
the
not
finger.
to encourage my
As,
students
as
to
you
do
see my
that.
Band-Aid that I cut myself on Friday
Don't try
night.
this at home.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I try not to.
So we got some onions, some sausage. We're going to add some button mushrooms that we quartered that are going to go in there also. This is a dish, one of our most popular dishes at the restaurant.
Okay.
So you're actually getting a sneak preview of how it's actually done.
Wow.
And are these family secrets, or no? You're not necessarily Italian, but
No,
are
I'm not Italian, so none of them are that. It's all things that we've tried and we thought this would work good, the flavor components would work good. So we try to stick to true traditional Italian cooking as best as we can.
Okay.
I just added some artichoke hearts in there too, so we have now mushrooms, sausage, onions, and artichokes.
Is there a specific region of Italy that you like to base your menu
We
off
don't.
of?
We bounce up and down.
Okay.
So we're not prejudiced against where we're going to cook from.
Well, some
So
restaurants really stay focused on one area.
They do.
I
They
think that's when
do.
they're coming from their family.
Yeah.
Their grandmother was
So
Napoli
that's
or
nice
Yeah.
that we'll get the whole.
Do you travel a lot to different regions of Italy?
No, I have never been there. I'm actually going in October for 2 weeks.
Oh, how
So,
exciting.
but when we opened up, we had a consultant from Naples come in for 3 weeks and work with us
Oh, great.
with our oven and doing our pizzas and everything. So
Where are you going in Italy?
we're doing Florence, Rome, Naples, and then we're going to try to get down to Sicily, but we'll see what happens.
Nice.
So I added some chopped tomatoes in there too with the juice. So this is going to cook, and we're going to try to get this really, really caramelized. We're going to start developing flavors.
Okay.
So this just takes a little bit longer to cook. So we're going to keep this going and keep the flavors going. Always important to season with salt and pepper. As soon as this cooks down a little bit, we're going to add some stock to it. This is still vegetable stock. In the restaurant, we'd probably use some chicken stock instead of vegetable stock.
Now, I heard Pete introduce you as the executive chef. How many people do you actually have working for you?
I have
in
a
the-
staff of 37 for the restaurant.
Wow.
How many are in the kitchen at one time?
On the weekends, there's myself, my sous chef, 3 other cooks, and then 3 pizza makers, and then 3 dishwashers, and an expediter, and then 2 food runners.
Wow.
So and that changes if there's a big party going on downstairs or upstairs, then you'll have more people
Sure.
come in to cook.
He
So
does do the parties. You know, he's got a giant room downstairs that fits how many?
175,
175.
and then the room upstairs that
The
holds.
room I saw last night, I didn't know, he has a room that holds 40, 45, was it?
Yeah.
So for the smaller, more intimate parties, he's got a room in the back.
So now this sauce actually reduces and makes its own sauce. So with the stock, so the flour is going to help, thicken that sauce up, make everything come together. And now we're just developing flavor. So
How
this
does
is
that happen
almost-
so fast, though? I mean, is it because the heat is so intense, or just the combination of?
The combination, so as soon as that tomato starts cooking, and all of a sudden you're trying to get some caramelization going, and then the flour is going to help thicken this. So now it's going to keep reducing, and then we'll get to a product of almost that looks like this. So this consistency is where you want it to be.
How
Wow.
much that reduces.
So it's going to reduce almost 80% down.
Okay.
So I saw no garlic in there.
No garlic. Everyone has this big thing that in Italy they cook with a ton of garlic. And every time you talk to a true cook who cooked in Italy, they don't use that much garlic. Very subtle, very light, just because you want to taste the food. I mean, they don't have these big portions in Italy anymore like people assume they do. It's really small. It's, because it's 1 course, 2 course, 3 course, They might have 5 courses for their meal, but they're going to start off with a bruschetta small. They're going to start off with a small portion of pasta. They might have 1 lamb chop or 1 veal chop, small. And just going to go really, really slow. So this is going to come together nice. We're going to add a little bit more stock to this to kind of just add a little bit more juice to it, which is fine.
I like how they make garlic bread. They just actually just open up a garlic and just rub it on the bread a little bit.
Yeah.
That's their flavoring. Their flavoring, I think Americans have overpowered everything with our way of thinking Italian food is.
Right.
Pizza originally is, what is it? It's the dough. It's a
Dough, it's tomatoes
it's
and
tomato
cheese.
and
That's
the
it.
cheese.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this and the pizza was created in Naples. And that's exact recipe that we use is one of the original recipes from Naples.
Wow.
It was cooked in a wood-fired oven at 1,000 degrees, and it's quick. I mean, it was made with flat bread, tomatoes, and cheese. When it first came out, it was just herbs and sauce, which we call pizza marinara. So now this is coming together really, really good. A key component to this again is we're going to add some parsley to it to brighten up the dish at the end. And then we're going to add some butter to it, just to make it a little bit more rich in flavor. And it's going to actually help the sauce stay together so it doesn't break. And then we're going to add some cheese to it. So we're going to add some fresh parsley. We're going to add some grated cheese. And then we're going to add some
Butter.
Butter.
Just some.
Well, what,
For a little more love.
what always surprises me is you're putting so much focus into this one dish, but I can't. I mean, when you're working in the restaurant
yeah.
industry, there's all sorts of dishes going on.
So there are about 48 burners in front of us all. And when you're busy, they're all being used and you're waiting for a burner to open up. And sometimes you start improvising and sauteing on a grill.
You have
which we do.
48 burners?
48
That's
burners.
amazing.
Now, is the executive chef, are you preparing and cooking,
I've
or are
worked
you
with 12. I
facilitating
can't imagine
and
4 times
managing?
that.
Yeah.
I do both,
Okay.
which is very hard.
Yes, I would
So this
think
is
so.
the rigatoni that's going to go in. So mostly in the week, I'm in the kitchen. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I run our wood-fired oven in front.
Okay.
And then Wednesdays, I'm actually on the floor talking to customers. And then
for you.
on the weekends is when I'm mostly behind the line and we call it, in the sweat pits of working. So this comes together really nice.
Very fancy
That's
with that
beautiful.
flipping.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You only lost one. That's good.
Oh, we've got to eat.
Here we go.
So we got
Thank
this.
you.
This is going to come down on our plate.
Nice. Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Here's that.
Oh, that's
Here's
hot.
a spoon.
I'm just gonna take a bite.
Why don't you let this cook while that one we give this to the
I lost
kids
my
and
manners a
the
long time ago.
audience.
Okay, well, we will
They'll just
look
nibble
at
on it,
that.
don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm not winning any awards.
Okay, while they're
there.
trying that, let's go over.
Sorry.
You have private rooms. Your phone number there.
708-352-7588.
Your address over there on 31st Street.
9 East 31st Street. So just on the east corner of 31st and LaGrange Road.
Well, this is very good. The combination of flavors is excellent. The combination of textures is great. Farley?
The sausage is really outstanding. It's got a lovely flavor, and of course your sauce with it, but I really am enjoying the sausage. Thank you.
It is beautiful. Absolutely amazing.
Well, I would like to thank first our celebrity judge panel.
Of course.
For coming in and eating
No, thank
pasta
you.
and some fancy
Thank you.
food here from a classically trained chef. I'd like to thank Jason from Mattone on 31st Street for coming in. We appreciate you coming early in the morning, especially since he was at his restaurant late last night. 'Cause I was there with him and going over stuff. So it's always hard on a chef to come in the next morning. Another episode of Cook This went fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay hungry.